Hi guys, welcome to your weekly horoscope reading. Today we're going to be looking at the transits for the week of the 14th through the 20th of March of 2022. And we're going to be looking at not just the astrological transits that will be happening during each one of the days of the week, but we also will be looking at intuitive tarot cards that I have already shuffled and pulled to represent each day of the week. So if you're ready, let's dive on in and talk about all the transits. But before you do, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more astrology videos like this. With all that said, let's dive on in and look at our week ahead. Starting out with Monday, March 14th, 2022. The sun is going to be at 24 degrees and it's going to be trining the south node exactly at 24 degrees and sextiling the north node at 24 degrees. Now, the sun being in Pisces and the south node both being in water signs, this is a very strong aspect because they just have a certain kinship together. So I feel like you're going to feel a certain call towards, I want to say a call towards destiny, towards more of a spiritual nature, because the water in astrology, which Pisces and Scorpio are both water signs, tend to represent our more spiritual, intuitive, and otherworldly natures. And I want to say it's almost going to be a bit of a ethereal energy that you're going to be feeling. It's going to be, you're going to feel kind of pulled and called towards your spiritual mission right now, because you have the sun making a fairly strong degree to Neptune. They're 2 degrees apart because we have Neptune conjuncting in Pisces, as well as Jupiter in Pisces and Mercury, all in Pisces. Now, they're not all making exact conjunctions. We have Mercury at 7 degrees, we have Jupiter at 17 degrees, and we have Neptune at 22 degrees, and the Sun at 24 degrees, all in the same sign. Now, when we have a lot of energy in one single sign, it just amps up that energy. So what that means is that the way we communicate, the goals we are setting and striving towards, and our faith and our ego are all combining. All of those planets coming together represent those energies, and all of those energies coming together all those energies coming together in Pisces represents all our mind, our goals, our drive, and our faith and determination to go after those things are all working towards one thing. And the fact that it is making such a strong aspect right now to the north and south node, I feel like we're going to be very driven towards, I don't want to just say towards regular ambition. It's not going to be, because this is all water energies, it's not fire energy, so it's not going to feel like we're, driving towards something within the physical world or an ego-driven kind of drive. This is going to be like we are feeling called towards our destiny right now. And we might not see the fruition of this call to action in the outside world yet, because it's water, it's more internal, it moves more slowly, it works on the it works more on the astral plane and on the spiritual plane. So I feel like there's a lot of big spiritual changes that you're feeling called to right now, and feeling amped up in your faith. And when I say faith, I mean your faith within yourself, your connection with the divine and the universe that you feel connected to within you. I feel like there is a very strong call right now towards your spirituality, and I feel like you're probably making a lot of huge changes, but I don't know that the outer world will be seeing this within you yet. I feel like it's all internal, and I feel like you're kind of working very hard right now to change and transform things on a spiritual level that will later on throughout the year be transformative in your actual physical world. Now, I feel like also we have another stellium, which means you have more than 1 or 2 planets in a sign, and we have another stellium of Mars, Venus, and Saturn, all in Aquarius right now. So we do have a lot of kind of, I want to say, chaotic and a little bit tumultuous energy right now, because all of that energy is making aspect as well to the North and South Node. Now, these are not exact squares yet, but whenever you have energy in certain signs and they square each other naturally, Aquarius naturally squares Taurus, and Scorpio, which is where the North and South nodes are, it's going to naturally create friction. And then when it hits the exact degrees, that's when we really start to see things rolling out with that friction. Now, all of this energy in Aquarius is going to be creating a lot of high energy around information, around the information that we're getting, the information that we're absorbing. With Mars, we're going to feel pulled in a lot of different directions, not quite sure what the right path is to take. And with Saturn, it's going to feel a little bit convoluted right now, with it at 20 degrees, about to square off exactly with the nodes at 24 degrees. So it's making a relatively tight square to the nodes, and Saturn represents the outer world. So there might be a lot of confusing information coming at us from the outer world this Monday that might feel like it's slowing us down towards this new spiritual vision that we're all having, that we're all headed in the direction of. So we might feel this change within us on the spiritual level, but might feel kind of pulled back on our capacity to go after it in the outer world. And with the moon in Leo, in the early degrees of Leo, squaring off with the nodes, again, it won't be making exact squares until Tuesday, but it is still going to be feeling like we're being pulled in opposite directions at this time from our destiny. It feels like Leo moons always invite us to lighten up our heart and to step into the energy of our inner child and our innermost purest joy that just remains within our soul. The problem is it's going to be squaring off with Uranus, which is the dispositor, which means the ruler of all that Aquarius energy that we have squaring off with the nodes. So this kind of does create a bit of chaotic energy, because we're going to be feeling like our inner child wants to come out to play, but we're kind of in this nebulous spiritual world right now within our minds and within our inner world, which is very strong right now. And our outer world is a tad bit chaotic right now. And with Chiron making an exact aspect to the Leo moon, we will possibly be using that Leo moon and that call towards our inner child for personal healing of our own vibration. But it might also call us to feel a certain heaviness that, because Chiron, it heals, but first you have to kind of feel the pain before you can heal it. So it might be kind of a little bit of a push-pull kind of day. We have the Eight of Wands that represents things moving fast. It represents a lot of energy moving forward very, very quickly. And I feel like this is just going to be a day of feeling pulled in many directions, a lot of kind of chaotic energy, but still a lot of spiritual new spiritual information coming to us that is going to be transforming us on the inside, but the rest of the world does not get to see that transformation as of yet. Moving on to Tuesday, the 15th, we have a lot of relatively similar energy for this day. We have the moon still in Leo, the sun still in Pisces. The sun will move to 25 degrees, moving off of that square or exact square of the nodes, but the moon will be moving to 24 degrees later on in the day, which will then create an exact square with the nodes, which is going to still give us a lot of this push-pull energy. The moon is going to be opposing Saturn, and it's going to be quincunxing both Neptune. It's going to quincunx Neptune, the Sun, and also Pluto. So even though this moon in Leo, which is naturally very heart-driven, kind of a very joyful, happy, sunny moon, which I like to usually actually call the moon mood, because the moon represents our general mood that we all feel collectively. And so in general, Leo moons or moods tend to brighten things up and want to be sunny and light and happy and let our inner child come out to play. But all of these energies are going to be making hard aspects towards it. And because of that, we're going to feel kind of torn in many directions because of those quincunxes, which kind of creates an energy of confusion that creates an energy of uncomfortability. And the sun quincunx the moon can make things feel like we are having a disagreement between our emotions and our identity. The sun, and this is going to affect us a little bit more strongly because the sun is the ruler of Leo, therefore it is the dispositor of the moon right now. And because of that, we're going to definitely be feeling a little bit more, I would say, emotionally heavy, because we have all this water energy right now, and we also have all this Aquarius energy. Now, Aquarius energy is not necessarily super heavy. It's more of a very lightning fast, quick, turbulent energy. But Aquarius likes to stay very much in the cerebral, whereas Leo, which opposes it, likes to stay in the heart. And because of that, all this Aquarius energy and all of this Pisces energy combining will make us feel kind of like we're in our heads more about things, almost wanting to be in a bit more of almost a escapist fantasy land, or just in a I want to say like a scientific laboratory, isolated from the world, where we're just figuring things out right now, figuring out all the details, but not actually having to go out there and apply it yet. And the moon is kind of calling us to, is trying to call us to calm ourselves down and to remember not to get too absorbed in all this water and air. Because when you put water and air together, you get fog. And so the moon in Leo is trying to bring in a little bit of light to try and help us to keep perspective. And the way we keep that perspective is through staying in touch with our heart through it all, and not allowing, too much chaotic thoughts to overtake us, or to control our mood, or to pull us into sadness or depression. So keep that in mind. Even though this is kind of a afflicted moon right now, you want to try and keep your spirits high, and to keep your eye on the little light shining through the fog, which is that Leo moon right now. And with the Eight of Cups, this is Tuesday's weekly card. We have the Eight of Cups, which says weariness, restlessness, away. Eight of Cups always represents walking away from things, and I feel like what Spirit wants to say with that is that we're supposed to leave behind and walk away from the thoughts and the emotions and the situations that want to pull us back down, that want to kind of pull us into old energy, into energy that kept us stuck in the past, that is not propelling us forward, that is holding us from our dreams and making us feel weak, or kind of like we're in toxic waters. So just Spirit is saying to walk away from it and to distract yourself with with things that will help you to get in touch with your with that inner light, with that inner child. Even if it's so much as just watching a movie that brightens up your mood, or listening to a song, singing along to one of your favorite songs, even just dancing alone to one of your favorite songs. Do something that brightens up your heart this day so you can walk away from the energy that is not serving you this day. Okay, Wednesday the 16th, we have the Hermit card, is what I pulled. And we have a lot of similar energy to the previous ones. We still have all that energy in Aquarius and all that energy in Pisces. But the moon is now moving into Virgo, to the early stages of Virgo. Now, it's interesting that I pulled the Hermit card for Wednesday because the Hermit card is Virgo's natural ruling tarot card. And so I feel like we're going to be called towards a lot of introspection this day. It's important to keep in mind that the Hermit card in tarot is also a major arcana, which represents more of a major, important, more pivotal day. And it looks to me like that might really be the case. We have the moon now is trining the North Node, and it will be making the moon will be trining the North Node, and that will make it so that we feel very, very called towards pushing towards our destiny. But yet again, it's going to be making a weird aspect to Mars, which it's a quincunx, which means that it's you're going to feel like you can't quite take the actions that you feel like you want and are called to take. Virgo moons are a moon that does not like to sit around. They like to get things done. They like to fix things. And there's going to be this push-pull between what we feel we can do and what our outer world will allow. Because it's going to first be making that odd aspect to Mars, which isn't as bad as the opposition, but it's going to feel like it kind of slows down Mars's energy. And it's almost like Mars and the moon, which would be representing our ego, our drive, our get up and go do things, and then the moon representing our emotions and our emotional will and our emotional drive, is going to be kind of pulled, having a little bit of a disagreement with each other. And both Virgo and Aquarius they're both very intellectual signs. And so I feel like the disagreement will be that they have different ways of wanting to approach things. And because of that, you're going to feel like you personally want to start working out all the details towards getting things done with your ultimate goals of what you want to be pursuing and changing and creating in your life right now with that North Node trining it. But Mars is going to be kind of putting the brakes on, saying, well, have you looked at all of these details? There's all this information coming at you that you just kind of feel like it will be kind of slowing you down with all this. And that moon is also going to be opposing Mercury and Jupiter this day. And so because of that, Mercury and Jupiter it's going to make it feel like our minds and our bigger picture are kind of facing off with a lot of details that we weren't expecting. A lot of unexpected details and things that we feel like we have to deal with and we have to take care of and fix before we can go after what it is we truly want to be creating. So for a greater vision. So I feel like the Hermit card is, we're going to be kind of taking some steps forward this day, but not as leaps and bounds. And I feel like the leaps and bounds are really going to be more on the spiritual plane right now, within changing our mindset, within going inwards, and helping to change things first on our inner world rather than the outer world on this day. Now, we have Thursday. On Thursday, March 17th, we have the Ten of Wands, and we have the moon still in Virgo, and we have the sun at 27 degrees, and the moon is going to be making, at some point during the day, it's going to be making a trine to Pluto at 28 degrees. And the sun in Pisces will be making, just around that same time, an exact opposition to the moon. So I feel like this is a day that you're going to feel a lot of stressful energy, and because the moon is in an earth sign and it's going to be making an exact trine to Pluto, also an earth sign. Earth signs tend to rule the physical world. I feel like you might have a lot of chaotic things going on in the outer or physical world this Thursday. It just might, it's not necessarily bad or anything. It's just that it feels like you're going to feel like you have too much on your shoulders, right, during this day. That there's a lot that you feel like you need to be getting done and doing. And with the sun opposing the moon exactly at the 27 degrees, making that same trine to Pluto, anything that Pluto aspects, even if it's a positive one, is going to feel intense. It's going to feel heavy. And the trine is a positive one. The moon and Pluto are backing each other up, which is calling you towards healing. And because it's in earth signs, healing things within the physical world. And might even have to do with things in the outer world going down that you feel called to try and help with or make a difference with, or that maybe there's just some news that's upsetting your heart in the outer world that you feel like you want to get involved with and try and help other people out with. But I feel like you're gonna feel like there's so much of all this Aquarius energy that is giving you so much new information, and all of this Pisces energy still that is so very spiritual. That's you have so much going on in the spiritual plane right now, and so much going on in your mental plane that I feel like you're just gonna feel a little bit of confusion and a little bit of heaviness this day. But Spirit is saying just to kind of power yourself through it with the lean upon the moon trine Pluto, because like I said, even though Pluto is an intense planet, it also creates the most intense power and the most intense healing. Pluto is where we get our personal power. That is what that planet rules, and it represents the power within all of us, and our willpower, our strength, our stamina, our fortitude, our survival skills. All of this comes from Pluto. And so having the general mood, which is the moon in Virgo, which represents the healer, represents the one that wants to fix and heal and perfect everything, making this trine to Pluto in Capricorn, which Capricorn does represents the world, represents a more collective worldly energy. I think Spirit is saying that maybe you'll feel a little bit of heaviness pertaining to outer world events, but you'll also be called towards healing something within your own heart that's going to you're going to feel called towards healing something within your own heart that's going to help to propel you towards the next step in your evolution. So Pluto always makes transformation through pain. So whatever pain or burden or stress you feel this day, Don't fold under the pain, carry the weight of that burden, and then Pluto will help to transform you into a stronger person, and that will help to transform your not just yourself out of that stress you might be feeling that day, but it will also help to transform your physical world because it's in earth signs. So let's look at Friday, March 18th, and we have the Two of Wands for Friday the 18th. And Friday the 18th it looks like the energy might be starting to lighten up a little bit during this day. The moon will be moving into Libra, which will be good. Your heart's going to be maybe more called towards looking at diplomacy, looking at love, looking at relationships, and things are gonna not be quite as heavy as the rest of the week or as chaotic as during the rest of the week, because now we have that Libra moon that's going to be making a nice positive aspect to all of that Aquarius energy. First off, it's going to be trining Mars and then trining Venus. So all of that struggle we had during the beginning of the week with this kind of more tense energy, this push-pull towards our goals, now Mars, our drive, is going to be backed up by what we want to do, and we're going to finally start to be able to take those steps to move forward. And we're going to be feeling a little bit less pulled in multiple directions. We're going to also have on this day Venus at 11 degrees, which will be sextiling Chiron in Aries at 11 degrees. So I feel like there's going to be a little bit of karmic healing going on this day. This is a day that I feel like we might be called towards karmic relationships and towards healing that energy that maybe plagued us in the past, and possibly feeling our hearts lighten up a little bit more and feeling like there might be new opportunities in love, because we will be clearing energy of Venus with that Venus and Chiron sextile. We will be clearing kind of karmic past relationship energies and making way for new beautiful energies to come in. And the Sun being at 28 degrees of Pisces, it's moving out of Pisces in the next few days. And at those final degrees of Pisces, it can feel a little bit, I want to say, soggy emotionally. You just kind of feel like you've been swimming. Like the end of Pisces just feels like when you've been in the pool all day, or you've been in the ocean just a little bit too long, and you just kind of feel like your skin and everything starts to feel kind of pruny and weighed down, and it's just kind of like your body starts to feel like it's transforming into another sphere almost, because you feel like that water you've absorbed just too much, and it's affecting the physical state that you're in. And I feel like that's the image that comes into my mind with describing the final degrees of Pisces. So it does tend to feel a little bit more emotional, tends to feel a little bit more removed from this physical world, and feeling kind of like you want to be more in your in more of your imaginative world. You want to be in your spiritual world right now, because that's where the energy is the strongest right now, with the 28 degrees Sun in Pisces. It will be making an exact sextile that day to Pluto. So I feel like you might have some really interesting spiritual information come to you that comes out of nowhere. I feel like whatever comes to you might be very transformative. I think it might be, you might get some flashes of visions of past lives, or actually what Spirit is saying is future lives. Yeah, that you might get some flashes of visions, some dreams, you might just hear things within your head that you don't know what that means, and you're like, where did that come from? And Spirit is saying that is going to be psychic gifts, psychic information that will be, you're going to be very tapped in to other lifetime spheres this day with the sextile to Pluto, and having that in Capricorn sextiling in such a powerful water sign, which is Pisces. It's going to make you feel, it's going to give you a little bit of like trans-dimensional energy. And if you want to step into that, you might be able to do some very, very deep karmic healing, especially around the areas of love. And when I say love, I don't mean just, romantic love. I mean love within all relationships, love within your family relationships, love within your even societal relationships, because many of us have been hurt many times by society in past lives. And I feel like we might feel the energy of these past lives on this day, but with Pluto sextiling it, remember, Pluto rules deep transformation. And if you go towards that pain and don't fear it, you allow yourself to heal it and move forward. And I feel like this is going to be a very beautiful day this Friday. So let's look at Saturday, the 19th, and we have the sun at 29 degrees of Pisces, which is known as the most critical degree because it feels very, very anxious. It feels very, very heavy in general. But the only reason for that is because the energy is ready to move on to a new degree. It has mastered and learned everything that it needs to know in Pisces, and it is just wrapping things up. So we will be wrapping up all the lessons that we've learned during this Pisces season within changing, because Pisces is a mutable sign, it represents change. So within changing our inner world and changing our faith in ourselves, changing our perceptions of the world, and changing our programming. All of the collective programming that has been put into us, Pisces rules. And this Pisces season, with having all of this energy in Pisces and all of this energy that we've had in Aquarius, having pretty much just a stellium of centralized energy, almost all of the planets right now, aside from Uranus and the moon, are either in Pisces or Aquarius right now. And besides Pluto as well. But all of the main central energies are in these two signs. So this whole month has been about deep transforming of the programming that has been put into us, not just in this lifetime, but in many lifetimes. And if you've been doing the work, you have been changing and healing all of the subconscious programming within you. And at 29 degrees, you're going to be kind of feeling like you're looking back on all of this and feeling like you are about ready to move forward in this transformation of your inner world. For Saturday, we have the Three of Pentacles, which is one of my favorite cards in the deck. It represents talent, as you can see, recognition, teamwork. I love this card because it represents people looking upon how far you've come and praising you and saying, good job. And I feel like that's what the universe wants to say to all of us, that it's like, it acknowledges that we've been through a lot, not just physically, but not as much in the physical world, but in the spiritual world, that we've all been changing and transforming and deprogramming and kind of revitalizing our spirits, revitalizing our strength, revitalizing the fruition of the spirits that we incarnated into this earth to become. And I feel like Saturday is a day that Spirit is saying to us, good job. Look at all that you have created. Look at how far you have come, and celebrate. Be proud of yourself. We will have the moon in Libra still, which will be still trining all of that Aquarius energy. It will be later on in the day trining Saturn, which will mean that our goals will start to change in the physical world now, and we're ready to start to move forward towards the things that we truly desire. Now, our final card for Sunday, March 20th, that I pulled, we have the Judgment card, which is a major arcana, as you can see. And we will have the moon moving into Scorpio that day, and we have the sun moving into Aries. So welcome to the spring equinox. We are now in the beginning of the real new year, which is the astrological new year. So 0 degrees Aries is where the sun is going to be, and then we will have the moon in Scorpio. I feel like this is going to be a very transformative and pivotal day. I feel like we're going to feel the shift in energy with this. I feel like you're going to feel the change from Pisces to Aries automatically. I feel like you're going to feel almost like a jarring shift within yourself and within your inner and outer world. I feel like the moon in Scorpio, which will later on in the day be trining Mercury and later on Jupiter, it will be giving us really big new information. We're going to be gaining a lot of huge, more concrete clarity on things, but it's going to be of a spiritual nature still, because these are still in water signs, but it's going to be a lot of big transformative information coming to us. I feel like the transition into Aries is going to we're all going to feel it. We're going to feel a rush of fire energy again, because it's been a while since we've had any major planets in fire for quite some time. So we are now getting out of all that Pisces, watery, heavy energy. And we still have all those planets in those water signs, but we finally have some fire lighting the pathway. But I also feel like we might feel a certain surge of anxiousness, of readiness to kind of get up and go, because the sun will slowly start to make sextiles to Mars, to Venus, as it progresses through the degrees, which it won't be doing for on that day, of course, because it progresses degrees day by day. But you'll definitely start to feel that kick of energy, that jolt of it is time to really start to make huge changes, to go after what you want, to see your physical world start to transform. And I feel like with that Scorpio moon, we're going to be feeling very much like a spiritual calling, pulling us in a... What I'm hearing is with the Scorpio moon is that you're going to feel a certain amount of, you're going to feel called spiritually with this new information. What I'm hearing with the Scorpio moon is that you're going to feel like you're getting called to something. You're going to be called spiritually towards something, and you're going to feel like whatever it is you're called to, it's going to feel like it comes out of the blue, out of nowhere. There's going to be a lot of kind of out of the blue, out of nowhere energy now with this Aries energy coming through. Because all that Aries energy, the fire, is now going to be trining, sextiling, all of that Aquarius energy, which Aquarius energy in general is disruptive. Aquarius rules disruption. Aquarius rules very transformative, changing, strong, new, progressive energy. And with Aries, with the sun now being in Aries, now ready to make aspect to all that, we're going to really start to see and feel ourselves kind of lighten up, because fire, the fire of Aries and the air of Aquarius just tend to further ignite one another and stir one another up and feed the fuel that we need. So we're going to feel like this is a very transformative day. We have the Judgment card that I pulled, which on this Judgment card it says reflection, liberation, and hope. And in general, the Judgment card represents, an awakening, a calling of feeling like you are, being awakened from the dead. And I just think it's so interesting that this is the card that came out for the spring equinox, because that's exactly what spring represents. It represents all of the trees and all of nature, which has been sleeping throughout the winter, being called to revitalize itself and to turn a new cycle and to begin again. And that's what this day I feel like is going to be feeling like. That it's not going to be like huge in the outer world, but we're going to hear it and feel it within ourselves. That with that Scorpio moon trining Mercury and Jupiter during the day, that it's like we are going to hear the call within our own mind, the spiritual call towards our real destiny, and we're going to begin the new year now, because the new year doesn't really begin until the spring equinox. And I feel like it's going to feel like a jolt of energy that none of us have been expecting, because we've been in such almost like underwater, nebulous energy right now, which has been a beautiful energy. We have all learned and gained so much from this beautiful Pisces season. Pisces energy is beautiful. It represents the energy that connects us to the divine. It's one of the most beautiful energies. But this Aries energy is ready to wake us up and pull us out of that dream world of Pisces, and saying now that we are ready for action, we are ready for change, and we're each going to be getting our individual callings from the universe with that Scorpio moon coming in that night. Now, the final card that I pulled for the overall for the week is the Strength card. And I feel like this is the card representing what we should remember to embody for this week ahead. That this might be a little bit of a chaotic week, but we can get through it. It's not going to be too challenging, and there's definitely going to be a lot of rewards along the way. So just remember to continue to calm and tame your inner beast, your inner wild lion this next week, because there is going to be a light at the end of every single tunnel and every single little challenge or hiccup that's presented to you this week. There is going to be a way out, and you just gotta find your strength of will to power through it, and Spirit is granting you with that for this week. So just don't forget that and hold on to that inner strength this day. This week is what I meant to say. I hope you enjoyed this weekly horoscope. If you did, Please don't forget to give me a like, as that helps my channel to grow, and please don't forget to comment below, as I really love to hear from you guys. I would love to hear your personal astrological signs, and I just love to hear your thoughts and how the week is going for you so far. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you'd like to see more astrology videos, I also do pick-a-cards and spirituality type of content on this channel. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell if you want notifications about every time I upload more videos like this. With all that said, I hope you have an amazing and beautiful week and start to your spring equinox. Looking forward to seeing you next week and the next reading. See you soon. Bye, guys.